Parents, when did your child's partner win you over? When my son brought home Lena for the first time, I was concerned. She had blue hair, multiple piercings, and spoke with this confident attitude that rubbed me the wrong way. I'm a traditional woman who raised my children with values and respect. This girl seemed like the exact opposite of what I wanted for my son. During that first dinner, she barely touched her food, kept checking her phone, and made several comments about how she didn't believe in marriage and thought traditional family structures were outdated. My husband was terse. I saw deep worry. Our son Michael had always been so sensible before. He was pre-med, volunteered at church, and had never given us a moment of trouble. Now he was with this girl who looked like she belonged at a rock concert rather than our dining room. Over the next few months, I noticed concerning changes in Michael. He started skipping Sunday dinners, was always busy when we called, and seemed secretive about his relationship. When I finally cornered him and asked about Lena's background, he got defensive. Mom, you're judging her without knowing her. She makes me happy. Isn't that enough? But it wasn't enough for me. Lena was apparently known for her activism on campus, had been arrested once during a protest, and came from a broken home with parents who both struggled with addiction. Everything confirmed my worst fears. This girl was going to derail my son's promising future. Things came to a head at Thanksgiving when Michael announced they were planning a year-long trip abroad together after graduation instead of him going straight to medical school. I completely lost it. You're throwing away everything you've worked for because of her influence, I shouted. Michael stormed out with Lena, and we didn't speak for weeks. My husband thought I was overreacting, but I was convinced I was protecting our son. Then in January, my mother had a stroke. It was severe, and the doctors weren't optimistic. The hospital was an hour away, and with my husband traveling for work, I was making the drive alone every day, exhausted. On the third day, I arrived to find someone already in my mother's room. It was Lena, sitting beside the bed, reading aloud from one of my mother's favorite books. She looked up, surprised to see me. Michael mentioned you were doing this alone, she said quietly. I thought you could use some support. For the next 2 weeks, Lena showed up every day. She brought homemade food, organized a schedule so someone was always with my mother, and somehow convinced the head nurse to bend visiting hours rules. I noticed how gently she helped my mother drink water, how she'd painted my mom's nails to help her feel human again, and how she seemed to know exactly what to say when the doctors delivered difficult news. One evening, exhausted, I broke down in the hospital cafeteria. Lena sat with me, holding my hand. My mom had 3 strokes before she died, she said softly. I was 15. No one should face this alone. That's when everything clicked. Her distrust of institutions, her independence, her fierce protection of Michael, it all came from a place of profound loss and resilience. When my mother finally stabilized enough to be moved to rehab, Lena organized everything. As we were leaving the hospital, I finally asked her, why did you help us? I've been nothing but cold to you. She looked at me. Because you're important to Michael, which makes you important to me. Family isn't just who you're born to, it's who you choose to show up for. 3 years later, Lena is now my daughter-in-law. Her blue hair is now a subtle purple, and she convinced Michael to delay medical school for that year abroad, where they built houses in underserved communities and he discovered his passion for global health. At their wedding, I was the one who gave the speech about how sometimes the people who challenge us most are exactly who we need.